This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Happy to help. I think there's not a firefighter around that wouldn't give their time, their summer, to go out and help and participate in helping these communities.
Answering the call, island firefighters gear up to help in BC's wildfire fight as others return home. Their stories from the front lines.
Mom and calf were very close together for the whole time, with mom almost touching the calf with her pet.
Another rescue in the water, a whale calf freed from fishing gear. The video just ahead. Plus, Adam meets a boy who's planted a rocket garden with the hope of helping others grow a passion for learning. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. A dazzling display of music and lights this weekend from the David Foster Foundation, a public Inner Harbour concert, and a celebrity-studded gala. CTV's Anna McMillan recaps the highs of the weekend and the feasibility of similar events in the future.
The city of Victoria is basking in the afterglow of a concert that drew the Canadian Forces snowbirds, famous singers, and tens of thousands of people to the Inner Harbour.
It's a very positive experience for us locals as well as people visiting.
The David Foster Foundation hosted Saturday's free concert, serving as a love letter from the music producer to the city where he was born and raised. The Victoria Police Department estimates 40,000 people watched the show.
I'm really excited to see this many people down here for a free concert and to be able to really reflect the excitement and energy that is often the case in downtown Victoria, but today's pretty special.
To celebrate its 40-year anniversary, the foundation hosted a gala on Friday, bringing out high-profile people, including Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. The foundation helps families with kids who need organ transplants.
My foundation will still be working 40 years from now, that's for sure.
With this weekend's acclaim comes a question. Will there be a similar concert next summer? The foundation has said this is a one-off, and the event it was inspired by, Symphony Splash, said it can't afford the production costs.
These things cost a lot of money. I mean, from security and porta potties and fencing and extra police and the list goes on.
CTV News asked the foundation how much it cost to produce the concert and did not get a direct answer. Last summer, the Victoria Symphony received a $250,000 grant to host Symphony Splash after a pandemic-induced hiatus.
Without funding, whether that's senior levels of government funding or corporate sponsorship, it's very hard to put on these types of events.
In a statement, a Symphony spokesperson says with continued increases in labor and production costs, a sustainable future for an event of this scale requires core funding commitments over multiple years. For many on the lawn of the legislature this weekend, it would be deemed a worthwhile investment.
I'm just so impressed. Very excited to be here.
It's absolutely amazing. This is magical.
Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
BC is implementing a temporary ban on off-road vehicles in many parts of the province as wildfires continue to roar in the interior, leading to evacuations and a province-wide state of emergency. The ban takes effect immediately and covers anywhere south of the regional district of Nanaimo and Port Alberni-Clackwood region. Anything north of that is currently exempt from the ban. Off-road vehicles include ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-side vehicles, which officials say can spark accidental fires in hot and dry conditions.
We advised British Columbians today that we are putting a temporary ban in place for recreational off-roading within a number of fire centres, the Kamloops Fire Centre, the Southeast Fire Centre, as well as parts of the Caribou Fire Centre and the Coastal Fire Centre. That order is now made available on the BC Wildfire Service app, and in particular for those residents in the Caribou and Coastal Fire Centres, you'll be able to see within a map exactly where this prohibition is in place.
The government says it will be actively enforcing the ban until it is lifted. If caught, you could face fines of up to $1,000. Vancouver Island firefighters are stepping up to the plate to help battle out-of-controlled wildfires that have forced thousands of British Columbians out of their homes. Crews from stations up and down Vancouver Island are currently returning home and switching off with rested team members headed back into fire zones. CTV's Brendan Strain met up with returning crews who say they're prepared to do it again.
We deployed on July 24th, and we got back on August 6th, so we went for a 2-week deployment.
Jeff Moyes with the Sydney Fire Department is back from a 2-week stint fighting the Pear Lake wildfire near Cache Creek. That fire is currently burning out of control, spanning roughly 146,000 hectares.
We work in conjunction with BC Wildfire They handle the forest side, and we handle more of the structure protection.
Moyes was part of a 3-person team recently relieved by a separate 3-man crew from Sydney, which has now been redeployed to the Bald Range wildfire burning near Summerland.
Our responsibility is preventing the fire from reaching the structures, or if the structures are involved, to manage those structure fires.
Sydney is one of many fire departments from up and down Vancouver Island that has sent crews into the province's interior, lending a hand, now fighting more than 45 out-of-control wildfires.
And also as well, there's BC Hydro, Conservation, BC SPCA, all the contract crews.
We do tactical patrols. We put out spot fires.
Saanach's Deputy Chief, Rob Jones, returned last Friday from Boston Bar, where he was fighting the Brunswick Creek wildfire.
Always happy to help. I think there's not a firefighter around that wouldn't give their time, their summer, to go out and help and participate in helping these communities fight these fires.
The Bald Range wildfires led to the district of Summerland falling under an evacuation order. Now Saanich has sent an additional 3-man crew, along with its Type 6 brush truck, to help.
It's a uniquely designed truck for wildland firefighting.
Saanach's deputy chief says the opportunity to help also means his members are learning valuable skills that can be used here at home.
We have urban areas here. The island's drying out as well.
Both Saanich and Sydney's fire departments say they will continue to help our neighbors in the BC interior as long as the need persists.
We're helping in communities that need help, and that's kind of what our business is all about, being a firefighter.
I feel like we did a great job. Yeah, I feel like it was a great convergence of resources from Vancouver Island and all around the province.
Brendan Strain, CTV News, Sydney.
The City of Victoria will be laying out the next steps for the Crystal Pool replacement project tomorrow. A press conference is scheduled for the morning. It's anticipated we will find out what lies ahead for the project. It follows a referendum last February in which 58% of voters voted yes to borrowing nearly $170 million for a new pool and fitness center. The current pool is the only public aquatic facility in Victoria. It's more than 50 years old and at risk of major failure. Last year, the city anticipated the new pool would take about 5 years to build. Now to some incredible new video showing federal fisheries officers helping disentangle a humpback whale calf swimming alongside its mother. The rescue happened late last week near the south coast of Vancouver Island. The entangled calf was wrapped in 350 feet of line and is swimming next to its mother, known as Tempest. Rescuers say the fishing gear came from recreational prawn gear set a month ago near Port Hardy. The team worked late into the evening, tracking the whales as they swam back and forth between Canadian and U.S. waters until the gear was successfully removed.
You know, mom and calf were very close together for the whole time, with mom almost touching the calf with her peck. So we were worried too that mom may not like what we were doing in terms of working with the calf, but luckily nothing. The mom didn't come at us per se, which has happened in the past. So, and we were ready to disengage anyway, but it worked out really well.
The calf will likely have some scars, but will make a full recovery. The rescue team has been responding to an average of 1 entanglement a week for the past 8 weeks, on par with last year, which was a record year. A neighborhood on the Lower Mainland is on edge today as conservation officers attempt to track down a black bear that attacked a 3-year-old girl in her backyard.
I am still in shock. You have waves of just wanting to break down and just cry. But we've been staying strong for her. She's a brave little warrior. I cannot believe how tough she is.
The family was in their Maple Ridge backyard when the girl started screaming. Her father was able to fend off the bear by shooting it with an arrow. The girl was flown to BC Children's Hospital and underwent surgery and is expected to make a full recovery. Conservation officers are still trying to locate the bear, and Wildlife Control says the animal will be destroyed once it's found. The final accounting for the province's 2025 financials, which ended in March, shows a deficit of $7.7 billion, more than $3 billion lower than previously forecast.
This last year was an unusual one. We faced wild changes that created both challenges and opportunities.
The latest financial update shows the deficit is lower than expected, thanks to higher revenue and lower spending on capital projects. Earlier this year, the government said it would be repacing several projects as part of a larger plan to trim back the deficit. The update also shows revenues at $2.8 billion higher than previously budgeted, mainly due to a legal settlement with tobacco companies.
19 degrees in Victoria right now. We get to a high of 20 today, which is the coolest day so far this month. It's also the coolest day we'll see for a while. The forecast is next.
Well, Josh joins us now. We're starting off the week cooler, but it's going to get warmer.
Yeah, 20 degrees today is by about half a degree the coolest day we've seen so far in August. Everything else has been low to mid 20s, and we're going to get back into that range, it looks like, through the next couple of days. No real end to the dry spell either, at least for Victoria. There are a few other spots around the island that might see a couple scattered showers. It's not going to be measurable amounts of precipitation, though. 23s, Nanaimo and Comox this afternoon. Port Alberni up to 25 degrees. We'll see more mid to maybe high 20s for inland areas over the course of the next couple of days. You see skies pretty clear for most areas. This is a little system just off to the west-southwest that'll bring, with this onshore flow, a couple scattered showers, more like drizzle. And through the morning hours up around Port Hardy, north of Tofino, you might see a few hit-and-miss showers through the morning hours. And the watch tomorrow afternoon, north Port Alberni, but maybe even in Port Alberni, up around the Courtenay Valley area, maybe even Nanaimo into the evening hours, a few hit-and-miss, really small scattered showers. Again, it's not going to amount to much, and it will not provide any significant moisture. Breezy in the north tomorrow, gusts to about 40 kilometers per hour developing in the afternoon. In the morning tomorrow and again Wednesday, could see some drizzle. 19s for daytime highs Tuesday, Wednesday, 19s and 20s as well for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Looks drier towards the end of the week. Inland areas, that chance of scattered showers, especially in the afternoon and early evening. About 26 tomorrow, but upper 20s, close to 30 for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And it looks pretty dry to go along with that heat towards the end of the week. A little bit of morning fog, maybe even north of Tofino, some patchy drizzle tomorrow morning. Should see the sun break through the clouds, though, in the afternoon. We'll get to about 19 tomorrow and stay steady in that 19, maybe 20 range through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Comox, chance of some scattered showers late in the day, high of 25 tomorrow. So pretty similar to where you were today, 25s to 26s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with some sunshine to close the week. And in Nanaimo, chance of a shower late afternoon or early evening. Otherwise, just a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. 25 tomorrow, 26s with sunshine Wednesday, Thursday. In Victoria, we'll get to about 23, maybe 24 for daytime highs over the rest of this week. So 20 today. Low to mid 20s for the next couple of days, and a degree or two above average, 22 the average daytime high. A little cooler where the winds blow onshore off of the water, but in town you're going to get into the 23-degree range. No rain. It looks like not only through the rest of this week in Victoria and Nafisa, but probably right through to the 19th or 20th. It stays pretty dry, so this is going to be a lengthy dry spell.
All right, good to know. Thank you, Josh. Now to an unprecedented wildfire emergency in the Okanagan, with thousands of people under an evacuation order after a wildfire exploded in the area, causing panic and consuming buildings along the way. CTV's Andrew Johnson is in Penticton, where many are taking refuge.
Jim Harnden and Tracy Coleman have done a lot of camping in their old van. This time in the Penticton Walmart parking lot is a little different.
We're safe. Or as safe as
making the best of a bad situation. You know, life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
They evacuated Friday night along with more than 10,000 others as flames quickly started to consume homes just west of Summerland.
The neighbor's house is burning up.
Families on the frantic drive out trying to register the destruction unfolding right in front of them.
It's like a freight train coming at you, the heat, everything. It's just, it's unexplainable.
One person, an elderly woman, died during the escape. In all, close to 20,000 people are out of their homes. That's all of Summerland and part of Peachland, communities in the heart of vacation and wine country south of Kelowna. The BC Wildfire Service says it is throwing everything it can at the fire, despite conditions limiting the use of air tankers. The fire has grown to 156 square kilometers. That's larger than the city of Vancouver. But overnight, expected strong winds did not materialize. Some evacuees are left to grieve the loss of their home.
20 years of building everything we've built to watch it go up in flames in 5 minutes. Just gone.
For Harnden, even these difficult days are a gift. He has terminal metastatic cancer of the spine.
I don't know how much time I've got, and so I just want to make the best out of it.
They're comfortable staying in their van during the evacuation as long as Jim's health holds out. He's been receiving care in hospice, where he says an end-of-life camaraderie develops with fellow patients.
Live together and tell each other stories. This is just one of them.
Their story and that of many others threatened by this wildfire could remain stuck for some time. The fire is still out of control, and officials tell us even a staggered return could be a week off, and that's if the fire can be kept away, which is still a big if.
New data from the World Health Organization is shining a light on the troubling number of measles cases in this country. The WHO says Canada has recorded about 1,100 measles cases so far this year. That's half as many as the 2,200 cases reported across the U.S., despite Canada having a population of only about 1/10 of our neighbors to the south. A BC farmer's tradition of giving away free, ugly produce that would otherwise be thrown away has broken a Guinness World Record. Over 30,000 people attended this year's Ugly Potato Day at Cloverdale's Agriplex, helping set a new world record for the largest donation of produce in 24 hours. More than 246,000 and 2,800 kilograms were given away, topping the 2016 record set in Sacramento by more than 2,200 kilograms. Produce was either misshapen, blemished, or too small to sell in stores.
The aim of this event is to show our community that, firstly, local farmers care. We see that you're going through a hard time, so we have over 25 farms that donated to this event. Secondly, is to show the amount of food that we can't eat just because it looks ugly, even though it's still nutritious and delicious.
Now in its fourth year, the event began at Hupple's farm but moved to the fairgrounds 2 years ago to handle the growing crowds. 25 different farms provided produce. Coming up, Alex's Rockets. Adam meets a 13-year-old with a plan to help kids learn through liftoff. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Trusted voice, focused on Vancouver Island first, sharing stories.
We're here at Esquimalt Lagoon
that hit closest to home.
Housing is a problem. What's your plan?
Watch weekdays at 4:30 and at CTV News Vancouver Island.ca.
Big win, bigger impact. Get your tickets for the Mega Summer 50/50, brought to you by 107.3 Virgin Radio, CFAX 1070, and CTV, in support of CFAX Santa's Anonymous all-new Kids Count program, supporting children beyond Christmas. Give back, and you could win big.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam meets a boy who's planted a rocket garden with the hope of helping others grow a passion for learning. On the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
This is our normal garden.
His mom's garden, which is filled with flowers.
And then over here, we got the rocket garden.
His garden, Alex Rose points out, which is populated with prototypes.
SJ1, a little crispy.
Before the 13-year-old reveals how his rocket got roasted, his mom Amanda says the seeds of Alex's garden were planted when he taught himself how to code software at 7 and constructed his first AI-powered robot by 9.
He wants to be thinking out of the box and just finds a way to make his ideas happen.
After selling a few of those robots, which was part of the business plan he devised in middle school to build his own tech company, Alex invested the profits into making rockets.
Rocketry is hard. I made the mistake of thinking it would be easy. It's not.
Well, it's certainly not easy to teach kids, because a rocket's explosive propulsion is potentially dangerous.
Launching rockets was not really part of the curriculum, so he just came up with other ways to do it.
Which brings us back to the rocket garden's burnt bloom, which Alex did successfully launch without explosives before an overheated circuit board made it burst into flames.
It's a learning process, and every new one you make is better than the last one.
Undeterred, Alex created a new battery-powered system, built a mini jet-style propulsion engine, and coded an application to operate it all.
Most aerospace companies don't have a chair to launch their rockets, but
then again, most companies are not what Alex has named TORI, an acronym for the Teaching of Rockets Initiative.
Most people don't have the money to fly out to Florida and watch the real rockets, so if we could bring smaller model rockets into schools, that would be amazing.
Once he's mastered how to make simple, safe rockets, Alex is planning to produce the components in his shed and share them with teachers across the region so other students can be inspired through learning hands-on.
If you solve a problem and you have the answer to this, why wouldn't you give that to someone else who's in need?
Because along with a big brain, Alex is cultivating an even bigger heart. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
It's a bright future ahead for Alex. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Night.